Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Will J and Nicole realize Holly could partake some responsibility? If so, will Brady and Teresa be suitable to hold out stopgap that Tate is telling the verity? And will Kate be suitable to drink her son back unharmed? Let's check in with the parents in this week's Two Dippers. Well, look who eventually decided to show up. Drink to the party, Maggie. Nicole demanded to see Maggie just as important as Holly did. I am glad Nicole approached the content of dependence with Maggie, though I wish the show would grant that there is conceivably a third option between sobriety and dependence. Eric advanced his support in a meaningful way, too, being there for Holly, assuring Teresa, and also soliciting wife J and Nicole. But the Holly plot was much further about the parents this week. On one end, Brady and Teresa went through it when they saw their son with a black eye. Their helpless fear felt true. Boda J and bad luck have been ahead of them at every turn. I suppose Colt will sympathize with Brady and Teresa a lot then, because we know Tate is telling the verity. But it was nice to see the two of them take a breath, suppose for an alternate, and confirm that, yes, they are on the right path. On the other side, Nicole and J started to come to terms with the idea that Tate may be innocent and Holly has some work to do. J indeed had some good ideas about calling the Italian clinic that the marshmallow-headed him. As I said before, I do not love that the show is missing the nuance that occasionally kiddies trial and get a bad force, but anything that tones down gawky. J is a demanded change. I granted J some grace last week as he rampaged against Tate. He has ceded the emotional ground to Eric when it came to Nicole, so he'd to puff up his casket, nearly. And his station, that Tate did not act presto enough, was so comically ludicrous that it proved how wrong J was. But now that he knows exactly where the medicines are coming from, Stefan told J that Clyde is dealing them through the bistro. I have come the judge, Judy, watch, tapping mean when it comes to him taking down the factual felonious versus him going after the 16-time-old reformed paintballer. And that is where Lucas comes in. Yes. I've to be honest, when Tate showed up with a black eye, I yelled at my television, why did not anyone call Lucas to help watch out for Tate? Thankfully, Harris is still new enough to the Salem PD that he has got a bit of a creative thinking. It was smart to matriculate Kate to go see Lucas. It's not that Lucas needs an authorization slip from Kate. It's more so that Kate would stop me if you've heard this bone. Before, pull every snooping string she could if she dissented with his decision. So, I am glad he is going to help. Also, Lucas is kind of a badass when it comes to being in snitch. I forgot he would successfully done it doubly. Go on, Lucas. Noticeably, Tate and Nicole have not seen each other since Tate picked up Holly for their New Year's Eve date. It's such a smart liar fashion because these two characters are living veritably analogous lives right now. On the heels of losing her son, Nicole's son falls into a coma. Nothing felt nay than when she admitted she's having a hard time believing in cautions. Likewise, Tate went right from chancing his friend overdosing to being thrown in jail for tried murder and having to learn how to not get beaten. I understand why Brady went to talk to Nicole. But I could not help but suppose Tate's the bone who actually relates to Nicole in a common woeful way. Have a sinking feeling that Stefan is going to disjoin Gabby for her own protection, which is right on brand for Stefan. Only he'd suppose that decoupling a woman with a broken leg, in captivity for a crime she did not commit, would be the smart thing to do. Still, I've to hand it to Brandon Barish, who's playing Stefan's unraveling despair with a palpable genuineness. He is the only reason I am interested in this character. For her part, Ava seems to be slipping back into her mob ways, and I could not be happier. That backstory is so rich, from the history with Steve to her terror of a father, that is where everything about her character and growth pulls from. Taking that fully off the board is silly liar. We need it back in, however, it's Ava ever-lovin' Vitali, if anyone is made to repeat Lexi's red dress moment. Wendy decided to stay back in Salem because of Trip. she's a grown woman and can make whatever opinions she wants. But I am really hoping she gets back to the police station sooner rather than laterally. Cyber Dick Wendy is important, demanded then, especially since the crime ring in Salem seems to be in the youngish crowd. No offense to Rafe or Harris, but they feel more the types of guys who would ask what is going on with these internets than the types to hack the complicated way kiddies are communicating to vend medicines. Of course, Kristen decided to rebuke Brady for missing a play date with the bridegroom of Chucky. Because it does not count that Kristen has decided to keep Ratch 3L from Brady for the last many months. He is the one responsible for intruding her up, because he missed a play date with her while his son was in jail and his stylish friend's son slipped into a coma. Oh, Kristen. You are a special snowflake. Melinda came over to check on Sloane and learned Leo is blackmailing Sloane, as well. Do not worry, Consuela Elephant, the contrary of Jiminy Cricket, reappeared to remind Sloane they'll both go to jail ever if she comes fair now. I kid, but this brace is low crucial, one of the more comically inclined pairings on days. Abe's flashbacks being through video isn't respectable. Abe needs his memory back. This man is a heritage in television history. He is the longest-running black character in day. He has been a Bobby, manager, mayor, and DeMara's son-in-law on days. We cannot make all that old footage useless for unborn days suckers just because Abe still does not have his memory back. Stephanie is giving Everett mixed signals. She's 100 flirting with him. No business meeting in the history of ever happens late at night when a woman brings her engagement ring, Carrie and Jack's boyfriend watermelon mojitos and his favorite food. That is fine, she's impeccably single now. But, again, I'd love to see her adopt an ounce of that tolerance she admires about Jada. You know it's rough when Jada suppositions the partner wrong in Stephanie's night. Last week, Holly came out of her coma, but things about New Year's Eve remained fuzzy. Nicole told her that Tate gave her the drugs that put her in the coma, but Holly wouldn't believe it. Coming up, Tate takes the risk to visit Holly at the DeMara mansion and sneaks in through her window. Tate tells her, "You're alive, you're okay, I've missed you so much." He then pulls her into a passionate kiss. Stuck in the tank and facing death, Wendy and Tripp professed their love in a personal wedding ceremony. John, Ava, and Steve finally got to them, but they had taken their last breaths. In the preview of what's to come, Steve and John perform CPR on Tripp and Wendy, as Ava watches in a panic and screams, "Are they breathing?" Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.